What happens when death doesn't win?
911, what's your emergency?
Imagine falling headfirst onto a spinning drill bit, your skull pierced clean through.
What is your emergency? I need a 911 assistance immediately, please. This is not a joke. Okay, hold on for the paramedics first. Ma'am, I'm gonna die. Hold on, please help me.
Or being yanked into a thunderstorm while paragliding, then waking up at 32,000 feet, frozen and alone.
It is kind of medical miracle in that her body was able to cope with that.
Or being dragged under a moving train, your body torn in two, and somehow living to tell the tale.
I just got hit by a train.
What part of your body was hurt?
My legs.
Okay, are they broken?
I think it cut them off.
It cut them off?
Yes.
These aren't myths, they're real stories, and they defy everything we thought the human body could endure. This is People Who Survived the Unsurvivable Things, Part 3. In June 2006, at a rail yard in Cleburne, Texas, Truman Duncan, rail worker and father, faced the unthinkable. While trying to connect two rail cars, he slipped. In a heartbeat, he was pulled beneath 10 tons of steel and dragged 75 feet. The train sliced through his lower body, severing one leg and nearly cutting him in half. His pelvis was shattered. His kidney was gone. His body, a mangled, bleeding wreck. But Truman didn't scream. He didn't panic. He pulled out his phone and called 911. "I need help, I think I'm cut in two." Then, he called his family to say goodbye.
Cleveland 911, state emergency.
I'm at Dennis in Southwest. I got ran over by the rail cars. I need 911. Care flight. I think I'm cut in two.
Okay.
You need to hurry up now.
Well, tell me where you are.
I'm at Gunderson Southwest.
Gunderson's?
Yeah.
And someone got ran over by a rail car?
Here's me.
For 45 brutal minutes, pinned beneath the rail car, Truman stayed conscious, cracking jokes, asking for a cigarette and a glass of water, fighting off shock with sheer will. Rescuers were stunned. Doctors called it a miracle. He'd lost over half his blood, his organs barely held together. He spent 3 weeks in a coma, endured 23 surgeries, lost both legs and a kidney, but he lived. Today, Truman's back at work, in a wheelchair but unshaken. He mows his own lawn. He plays with his kids. When death came thundering, Truman Duncan didn't flinch. He held on and he held himself together. How do you survive an 18-inch drill bit through your skull and walk away laughing? August 15th, 2003. Truckee, California. Construction worker Ron Hunt climbs a ladder, drill in hand, just another day on the job. But then, disaster. He slips. The drill tilts upward. In a split second, a 1.5-inch thick, 18-inch long drill bit drives straight through his right eye socket and out just above and behind his right ear.
What is your emergency? I need a 911 assistance immediately, please. This is not a joke. Okay, hold on for the paramedics first. Ma'am, I'm gonna die. Hold on, please help me.
The impossible happens. Ron is still conscious. Paramedics arrive to find him sitting up, the steel bit protruding from his head. He's not just alive, he's joking. "Don't let me drive," he quips, even as blood drips down his face. Doctors later say it's a miracle. The bit missed every critical part of his brain by millimeters. If he'd fallen backward, his neck would have snapped. But falling forward? The bit pushed his brain aside instead of piercing it, a freakish anatomical miracle. At Washoe Medical Center, neurosurgeons carefully unscrewed the bit, reversing the path of destruction. Ron lost his right eye and some facial movement, but he suffered no major brain damage. He was out of the hospital in days scarred, but very much alive. Today, Ron shares his story with anyone who'll listen, reminding construction crews to wear their hard hats and appreciate every single day. Because sometimes, surviving the unsurvivable isn't just luck. It's a 1 in a million twist of physics, anatomy, and sheer willpower. Imagine waking up disoriented, barefoot, utterly alone, lost in thousands of acres of dense Alabama wilderness. In July 2017, 25-year-old Lisa Theris vanished. A radiology student with no survival training, Lisa found herself in the wrong place at the wrong time, caught up with two men plotting a burglary. When she realized what was happening, she fled into the night, plunging into an ocean of forest, with no shoes, no phone, and no way out. For nearly a month, 28 days, Lisa wandered, surviving on wild berries, mushrooms, and the muddy water she could find in brooks and puddles. Sometimes, she squeezed rainwater from her hair just to stay alive. She had no shelter, no compass, only the will to keep moving. She endured searing heat, violent storms, and relentless insects, her skin raw with scratches, bug bites, and poison ivy. She lost up to 50 pounds, her body battered, her spirit tested to its limits. As days turned to weeks, hope faded. Her family feared the worst. Searchers covered miles of unforgiving terrain, but Lisa was swallowed by the wilderness.
The last 2 days that I was out there, I started to hear a road, and I just knew that I was close, so I started going in different directions. I just knew I had to get out. I just couldn't be there any longer. I had to get out.
Then, on August 12th, a miracle. A motorist driving down Highway 82 spotted a figure, naked, emaciated, barely recognizable, emerging from the woods. It was Lisa. She was rushed to the hospital, alive against all odds. Lisa later said she prayed every night, begging to survive. Each morning she woke up amazed she was still breathing. Hers wasn't just a fight for survival, it was a battle between fear and faith. And somehow, faith won. Lisa Theris's story is a testament to the strength of the human spirit, the will to survive the unsurvivable. What happens when the sky turns against you? February 14, 2007, world champion paraglider Ewa Wisnierska soared above New South Wales, Australia, training for the World Paragliding Championships. But clear skies betrayed her. A collision of storm systems birthed a monstrous cumulonimbus cloud, a towering anvil of death with updrafts stronger than hurricanes. The thermal vacuum ripped her skyward at 65 kilometers per hour, faster than a free-falling skydiver. Her wing buckled. Lightning exploded around her as hail the size of oranges shattered against her helmet. She fought to spiral free, but the storm won, sucking her into darkness.
The power in the spiral is so strong that I almost black out.
At 32,631 feet higher than Everest's peak, her body failed. Oxygen deprivation knocked her unconscious. Temperatures plunged to minus 50 degrees Celsius, freezing her eyelids shut, encasing her in ice. For 40 minutes, she drifted lifelessly through the storm's heart, while 50 miles away, fellow paraglider He Jongpin fell frozen from the sky. Miraculously, her glider survived. As the storm weakened, she plummeted earthward, regaining consciousness at 20,000 feet. Ice-crusted and half-blind, she crash-landed in a remote field. Frostbite nearly claimed her ears. Bruises mapped the storm's fury. Yet no bones broke.
I'm sure I don't want to stop flying, so I want to start to enjoy it as fast as possible.
Meteorologists called it impossible. Doctors dubbed her survival a miracle. Ewa returned to the skies within weeks, not in defiance, but in triumph. Today, her story soars again in the award-winning documentary, Miracle in the Storm, proof that even the heavens can't extinguish unbreakable spirit. What would drive someone to risk death for a dream? In April 2015, 21-year-old Steven Ambarita crawled into the wheel well of a Garuda Indonesia jet, chasing a near-impossible goal: to meet the president. He'd studied airport security for months. On April 7th, he slipped through a fence at Pekanbaru Airport, crept across the tarmac, and climbed into the narrow compartment just feet from spinning hydraulics. As the plane climbed to 34,000 feet, the unpressurized space turned deadly, oxygen thinned. Temperatures plunged to minus 50 degrees Celsius. Mario's ears bled, his fingers froze, and he drifted in and out of consciousness, teetering on the edge of death. Most stowaways don't make it, but when the plane touched down in Jakarta, ground crew were stunned to see a man tumble from the undercarriage, frostbitten, dazed, but alive. Experts were baffled. Survival at that altitude is almost unheard of. Why did he do it? To deliver a message to the president, a mission many dismissed as madness. But it was enough to carry him through one of the most lethal environments on Earth. In a space meant only for steel and fuel, Mario found a miracle. They were torn, broken and buried under odds no one was meant to survive. Yet somehow, against logic, nature, and even death itself, they did. What gives someone the strength to come back from the brink? Is it instinct, a miracle, or something even deeper, hidden inside us all? One thing is certain, these survivors didn't just cheat death, they rewrote what it means to be alive. If stories like these left you speechless, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We've got even more unbelievable survival tales coming your way. Thank you for watching.